All right. Hey guys, crude oil, January, the first January of 2023, the first month, I should say, of 2023. Here we are, crude oil. Last year, this whole 2022 was great for those scalping trading to the short side. If you were trying to be long, you had to take your gains quick. I scalp both sides equally, but this year, 2022, I was scalping way more to the short side. Now, since this low, I've been scalping way more to the long side, and boy, has it served me well. I'm still long half size. I was full size long after adding on this overnight action last Thursday night into Friday morning. Ended up in a full size position. I took half of it off, and I left half on because we are right back into a known resistance zone of 80.35 to 81.20. This level to me is really important. It's been touched and played with all year, going back to January of 2022. Then there was a long period where it wasn't touched, but the last couple of months, yes, it's back into touching this zone. So to me, I view this as important. What I would love to see is this breakout, break out of this zone and make it not just break out of this zone, but make a new high of 83.34, make a new high, and get at least to 84.50 before a meaningful correction. Ideally, this would just blast through this and come all the way up to 85. Let's call it anywhere from 84.50 to 86 before anything deeper than a 382 or 50% correction. That would be awesome. That would go a long way to tilting the odds that the next pullback we get is buyable. That's really what I'm talking about. But I don't really trade this degree of action. I'm trading in here. I'm trading these lower time frames, but I'm always looking at the longer time frame just to get an idea of which way should I be scalping. So, it was kind of scary to stay long in here because it's overlapping mess. But, I have to be willing to give back those gains, the paper gains, in exchange for making much more gains. And that's what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. And it's worked out. It doesn't always work out. Because I definitely took heat here. I could show you actually. Yeah, I took heat here. This one really pissed me off because this came down. So I built a beautiful long position. And then it came down and it made a lower low. Lower low beyond this. So there's overlapping mess. And look, it clearly, if this is a 1-2, it clearly got below the level of, this. That's why I thought this 77 level is important. And that's why my OCO Thursday night, here, let me show you. Thursday night, I bought the bottom of this pivot OCO style. So I added to I was already long from down here. So I added the longs there. And then I had a larger OCO order to buy even more, almost irresponsible down here. To put me in full size. Actually, sorry, I was almost full size there. But then in the morning when I woke up and I saw what this was doing, I added once more here. So then I was in full size, and then I still didn't take heat because my basis was still down here. And then look what happened. Friday was just freaking glorious. So I took half off up here when it got to the 1618 as if this were a 1-2. And whether it is or it isn't, it's almost besides the point. I'm trading to make money, and I'm trading to manage risk. So whether I'm right or wrong, it's almost inconsequential. Price came up to this level. So I took half off. Why I only take half off is because anything can happen. And with the technicals the way they were, and with the way the action was moving, I just left half on because it could totally come up and strike the top of this box and then get a pullback. Or it could keep going. If it's going to finally break out and start the new year right, why not just plow through this resistance for the fourth time it's getting tested? 1, 2, 3, 4. And just plow through all of this stuff and give you a legit wave one of a new impulse. And then the real exciting thing is, if that happens, if I'm lucky enough to ride the half of my position all the way up into there, then what I do is just measure stuff. Because if I'm not very good at Elliott wave, but I'm very good at measuring stuff and identifying these levels. So if this comes up, all I'm going to do is move up this retracement tool and then look for what kind of structure is happening and buy the layer into some longs and try to really catch the heart of a 3 of a larger degree off of a bottom that has so much pent up energy. That's the way I look at this. All of this pent up energy getting suppressed. Just that's the way I look at it. You know, people talk about the cork under the water. It could be, but what I don't like about that is this is an overlapping mess. So I feel quite fortunate to have caught these long trades in here because it's ugly, overlapping. It's just, you can even just see that visually without measuring anything. Look at all of this. I mean, it's like an EKG of a bad heart patient. Same up here. And then it comes down and makes a new low. You know, just nuts. But then, you know, it creates kind of a new impulse-ish, even though it's overlapping. But of course, I added to that somehow. So that's what I want to see. New high, break out of this resistance zone, and at least make it to 82.72. But, you know, if this pulls back from here, I'll measure it. We'll see what it does. But it's risky business. It's getting interesting, though, because in spite of this overlapping crap show, you know, maybe it's going to finally clean up. Maybe it's going to finally, because this is a legit breakout. Getting above the top of this correction, getting above all this resistance and these supply demand zones that I've recorded all year long, they're all here. So if this thing can get up here, man, that's going to be, I think, kind of exciting. Of course, there's always a chance it's some kind of an ABC, but I don't know. The C got wrecked. So your guess is as good as mine. Let's let the price tell us what's happening. Let's let the price tell us what's happening and just manage risk. All right, that's all I got. Good luck. I'm long, half size. Let's see what happens.